Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Bookmark by Leah. These are the 6 books that I read in July, and I read another one on my Kindle, so total of 7. I want to go over these and let you know how I felt about them, see if you read any of them, see if I recommend them to you, if I wouldn't recommend them to you, and let's go over what I plan on reading in August. This is a very hopeful August TBR. We'll see. We'll go over that in a sec. So I started the month off strong. This is my first read of July, Catherine Center, The Bodyguard. I've been seeing this author for a while, but didn't know like how her writing would be. You know, you're always nervous to try a new author just because you don't know if you're gonna like them or not. So I read this one. After reading this one, I want the rom-commers. I want Hello Stranger. I want all the books by her. I really enjoyed this book. This book follows Hannah and Jack Stapleton. Jack Stapleton is a movie star and he is being stalked, so he secretly hires a security team, obviously, so he doesn't get killed by a stalker. And so it's actually a fake dating situation because his bodyguard is a female, so he's hiding a secret from his family, from a few friends, from the media, from everybody, that this is not really his girlfriend, but it's actually his bodyguard. He's got a lot of issues. He's been like a loner for a while and out of the media, out of the hype, just because it was some drama with him and his family that we find out about in his story. He's been just kind of hanging back. So you get to see how this story unfolds. You know how it always ends up with fake dating, but you get to see how it became what it's gonna be, you know. So very cute read. This is not considered a like summer book, but I could definitely see myself reading this like on a beach. If you're looking for something to read like really quick and get through it pretty good. It took me a minute to get through this one though. I think just because of life though, not because the story was like too boring or anything like that, but it could definitely be a beach read. Then I had Twisted Lies, Anna Hong, last book in the Twisted series. It was so bittersweet. I gave this whole series, I think as a whole, a 4.5. I really enjoyed this series. If I had to rank these books by my best to worst, it would be Twisted Games, Twisted Lies, Twisted Hate, then Twisted Love. Just because of the characters. Like this one in here, like I believed in their relationship. It was a little weird at first, but I did believe in their relationship. And Christian was just so dark. And I just love to see these like dark characters like end up showing their soft side and end up showing like they're a real person. They don't always have to be so tough. So I did a reading vlog on this, so if you haven't checked that out, after you're done with this one, go check out my reading vlog on Twisted Lies. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this one. Same time next summer, Annabelle Monaghan. I read Nora Goes Off Script by her and really enjoyed that one. It was just one of those like fluffy light reads that you need sometimes to break up something else you might already be reading. Just those, just like nothing too deep, nothing too dark, just a fun read. And this is definitely a beach read. This is just a little over 280 pages. I think it is 280 pages. Super short, can get through it really quick. You could probably read this in a day if you're that type of girl, but you know, I think it probably took me like 2 or 3 days to read it just because, you know, life. But this follows Sam and Wyatt. Sam's actually engaged to somebody else, and she's like in New York, I believe, but they're going to Long Island, the beach town that her parents live in, that she grew up in. So she's going there to see if she can find like venues and things like that for her upcoming wedding. But when she gets there, all her memories start flooding back, things she's tried to forget because her first love, Wyatt, is there. This book is a dual timeline, so it follows them, I want to say 16 years in the past. So it follows them as all the past chapters go from when they were like little kids all the way up to teenagers, and then the present chapter obviously is the present, her getting married to the other guy. And it's cute. I'll just say that it's cute. Her and Wyatt obviously reconnect. You already see where this kind of story is going. They reconnect, and then you just kind of see what happened to them and why they're not a couple now. And I loved it. I can't remember what I rated half of these books except 1 or 2, but the rating is somewhere around here. So you see what I rated it. Definitely recommend for a beach read. Next we have Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. Again, I did another reading vlog on this, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. The only thing I'm going to tell you is go get it. It's 5 stars. This one, I didn't go into it thinking it was going to be 5 stars, but it was the wow factor for me that made it a solid 5 stars. I love this book. I'm in love with this book. I will say this though, this technically is a standalone in a series. You can read this out of order. A lot of people read them out of order, but to me, for my opinion, I think for the best reading experience, you should read Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and then this one. Just for the best reading experience, because you're already familiar with a lot of the characters. So you can be like, oh yeah, that was, he was in Yours Truly or whatever, so, but you can for sure read these by themselves if you want to. Love this book. Then I have Christina C. Jones, Behind the Scenes. This one has been on my TBR cart forever, and I just hadn't picked it up. I read Love Notes by this author and a novella by her, and I did like them. I did like this book. I did. Something was missing from it though for me. Something was missing, but I did enjoy it. I did believe in this relationship. I saw myself in the character, and to me that makes the story too, especially our books by Black authors, because I want to see myself in the character. I want to understand what's going on with that character. And this one, I really believed in it. Stop. It follows Logan and Pierre. Let's start with what the book is about. Logan comes from a very elite, status family. They're all lawyers, and she didn't want that life for herself. She wanted to do something else. So she works in more of production, TV. She's not a personal assistant, but something better than that, So I can't remember what fancy name they gave it. And Pierre is a screenwriter for a TV show. He comes from a family of film directors, producers, things like that. So he's got some insecurities about himself. He's all in his head, not knowing if he can pull it off. And Logan is hired as his assistant, kind of help him, get it going, get his TV show off, on the air. So this follows their relationship that blossoms. At the beginning of the story, they run into each other, and nobody, expects anything to come of this, because it was basically a one-night stand. When I say the story jumped off into just a one-night stand, that's how it went down. And then they come to find out that they have to work together. So it's awkward at first until it's not. It's not the same story by any means, but it gives you the same vibe of Real by Kennedy Ryan if you've read that one. So if you enjoyed that one, 9 times out of 10 you enjoyed this. But it's just, like I said, something was missing in here for me, but I definitely still would recommend it for you to read. Then I have Promised Boys by Nick Brooks. This was just like a random buy. I was in a used bookstore. This was $5.95. I was looking for something to break up all these summer books that I was reading, something that had a little, mystery to it, a little darker, but I didn't quite want thriller. So this definitely won. It was really good. I really enjoyed this. This is actually a YA dark academia. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that there's 2 things I really don't care for. It's miscommunication and it's YA books, because sometimes they're just too YA for me. But I'm starting to realize a YA thriller or YA dark academia that might be my jam going forward, because you can really get through them really fast. They're interesting. It's not like that teen love that I'm like, well, decades past. So this follows 3 boys at a prep school called Promise Prep. They have a principal that's like unhinged and out of control, and he ends up dead. The 3 boys are the main suspects for this. They all have motive, and this story is basically just the suspense and the mystery of finding out who did it. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of this book. I think I flew through this book. I could have read this in one sitting, but again, life, I could have read this in one sitting, because I couldn't put it down. It was so good, and I'd recommend it to anybody who's listening out there. Read this book if you just want something to break up something you might already be reading, or if you just like dark academia. I think this is a good way to start. Or if you've never read dark academia and you kind of want to dip your toe in to see if this is something that you might like, I think this would be a good one to start with. I love the cover. I love the story. Recommend. Okay, so that was the July wrap up. Now I'm gonna talk about the books that I'm hopefully want to read in August. I picked 6 books for this month. I was gonna do a TBR jar picks my reads, but sometimes it's almost overwhelming. Like if I just tell you what I plan to read, I don't feel that pressure. And honestly, I think I'm actually gonna read all of these. If anything, I'll add more to this, but these are definitely my top priority. On my TBR card, I have it like in a priority. So like everything on the top is stuff I want to read like ASAP. The middle is like more just like, okay, I get to it because I really do still want to read these. And the third one was like, y'all might end up in a free library, but we'll see. So first off, Leather and Lark. I told you on my last video that I just got this book and I cannot wait. It's the second one to Butcher and Blackbird. I really, really enjoyed Butcher and Blackbird because it was different, and I cannot wait to jump into Leather and Lark. I got this one in one of my recent book hauls, The Devil Wears Black, L.J. Shin. I think this is gonna follow, this girl is in a relationship, but she ends up in a fake dating situation with her ex, the ex that broke her heart, for him to be able to get some type of inheritance or something like that. I'm trying not to read the back again because I'm starting to really, really like not refreshing my memory as to why I bought a book, because I feel like if it's in here, at some point it intrigued me enough to buy it. So I'm just kind of wanting to go in and just kind of get into books, because sometimes when I read the back and then it's just, I'm weird. I don't know. I'm starting to just like to just open up and start instead of trying to remember what it's about. I can't wait to jump in. It just seems like it's going to be good from the cover. It looks like it could be a thriller, but it's nowhere near a thriller. I think it is definitely a romance. I feel like it might be a tad bit of dark romance in here. I'm really not sure. And so I'm going in blind, and I'm going to let you know on August wrap up. King of Wrath, Anna Hong. Since I finished the Twisted series, I'm just ready to dive back into this world. And since these two characters, Dante and Vivian, were introduced in Twisted Lies, I'm just ready to see what's up with them, because this is a billionaire fake marriage or arranged marriage type of situation, and I can eat those up. I can eat a billionaire romance. I can eat a fake dating. I can eat up a enemies to lovers. Those are my jams. Those are my go-tos, and I cannot wait. This is in the King of Sin series, and I think it's about 4 or 5 of these books, and I can't wait to kind of just go through the winter reading these. Then I have Caught Up, 3rd book in the Mile High series. Nope, I always call it that. 3rd book in the Windy City series. This is a age gap single dad nanny trope, and it follows the sport of baseball. I'm really enjoying this series. The new one, Play Along, just came out not too long ago, and I'm ready to pick that one up. So this is definitely top priority for me to read, because I do want to read the 4th one in there at some point soon, probably next month. But I'm really ready to dive back into this sports world. Then I have Because of Us, Nina Arata. I got this on my recent book haul as well, and I've never heard of this author. It's a new author to me, an indie author, and I cannot wait. It's like a second chance romance. I love a good second chance romance. So I cannot wait to get to this one, Because of Us. And then I have Funny Story. I know everybody, their mama, grandma, auntie, cousin has read this book already, but I purposely have saved this because I have like some vacations coming up, and it just seems like a vacation read. Emily Henry is always my vacation reads. I read Beach Read when I was in Arizona. I read Happy Place when I was in Jamaica. So it's like, I just want to read this on my next vacation. So I'm saving Funny Story for that, but I cannot wait to dive into this story. It just, I feel like all of her books you can just dive into. Romance is always a subplot in her books. I feel like it's always either about like the main character's past or their lives or what they're struggling with or what they're trying to overcome, and I just love it. And then on the side you got a little romance. So this is basically, what is this, contemporary fiction or literary fiction? I'm not sure, but it's basically, her books are basically fiction with a side plot of romance usually, and I eat them up every time. I love them, and I cannot wait. So y'all, these are all the books that I plan to read in August right here, and I cannot wait. This is going to be a great month. And okay, well, those fail. And these are all the books that I read in July. Oh, I forgot to tell you. About the one I read on my Kindle. You know why I forgot? Because I gave it a 2-star. It's Lucinda Berry, When She Disappeared. She ends up in a cult. That's all I'm gonna say. I did not like the book. I don't even want to waste time on that, but I thought it was gonna be a banger when I started reading. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. These short chapters, this, you know, oh my God, the suspense. I don't recommend. Don't recommend at all. 2 out of 5. So now that concludes my wrap up and my August TBR. If you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment anything you want to know below. And I just appreciate you guys for hanging in with me, because this has been a like all over the place video, but I hope you hung with me. I hope you made it to the end, and I will see y'all on the next one.